Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world, online at Z107.7fm.com. Here's your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, February 21st, 2026. Hey, it's finally here, the season that nearly everybody else has been experiencing in the United States, winter. A little over a week ago, the San Bernardino Mountains looked relatively bare when it came to snow. Now, San Gorgonio looks properly dusted with snow as the pink winter sun rises in the morning and casts a pale, rosy raking light across the western range. In the last 5 days, over 4 feet of snow is packed onto the peak, with 8 of those inches coming down in the last 24 hours. That's good news for winter recreators and for those of us who like a snowy mountain backdrop for our winter hikes. It's also good for California, as the Golden State celebrated no drought conditions across the state late last year, but has been lacking in that essential snowpack. The Sierras are tracked a little more closely with snowpack monitoring in the northern, central, and southern range areas, and according to the California Cooperative Snow Surveys on the California Department of Water Resources website, the southern Sierras currently have 100% of their normal snowpack, it's 75% in the central Sierras, and just half of the regular snow in the northern Sierra Trinity range. California receives about 30% of its fresh water from snow warming up in the spring and supplying springs, creeks, and rivers with snowmelt. Desert dwellers like us use water from aquifers directly underneath us, but those underground water sources are recharged and renewed by the same systems as other areas in the state. Snow in the mountains is great, but the rain that falls onto a thirsty desert does the most for our native plants and water tables. The cold snap that we're currently in is forecast to loosen its grip in the coming week, with daytime temperatures climbing back up into the 70s. I'll be out on my property today picking up cushions and bird feeders that were redistributed by the murder winds during last week's storm. It's also a good reminder to find any standing water and dump it out. Don't give those invasive mosquitoes any space to breed. The lack of these bloodsuckers has been a Southern California privilege for decades. And despite the warmer weather, don't get too spring fevery yet. We're still deep in the winter months, and despite whispers of super blooms and sunnier days, the official start of spring is still about a month off. And weekends are for catching up on tasks you can't get to during the week, but it's also important to get out and put some art in your face from time to time. Yucca Valley's High Desert Artist Gallery has 2 events happening this weekend that can help you with that, one of which is a family affair. Here's Jeff Harmatz with the scoop.
A multi-generational family of artists come together in a new exhibit called Seeing Things. The show features drawings, paintings, photography, sculpture, and media as mixed as the family that produced the work. The 5 artists involved in the show are all family. That's Mason Ford with geometric paintings, Philip Miller with metal sculpture, Candy Nartanis with printmaking and painting, Katie Nartanis with landscape photography and jewelry, and Nartanis Thompson with oil paintings. The gallery is holding an opening reception for the show tonight from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you miss it today, the show will be on display at the gallery until March 16th. Then tomorrow, the gallery will be bringing a taste of Palm Springs Modernism Week to the Morongo Basin. They will hold a screening of In Tandem, the life and work of Jerry and Evelyn Ackerman. The short documentary, directed by Margaret Halkin and Katie Nartanis, tells the story of the Los Angeles-based mid-century designers whose work spanned furniture, ceramics, textiles, and more. Nartanis will lead a question and answer session following the film. That screening is on Sunday at 3 p.m., tickets are $10 at the door. The High Desert Artist Gallery is located at 55635 29 Palms Highway in Yucca Valley. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Jeff Harmatz.
The Yucca Valley Film Festival is now accepting submissions for its 8th annual event. Filmmakers from the Morongo Basin and beyond are invited to showcase their work on one of the desert's most visible creative stages. Reporter Hillary Sloan has more.
Since its 2018 launch, in collaboration with the town of Yucca Valley, the Yucca Valley Film Festival has grown from an idea into a nationally recognized event. Festival founder Matt Boudoir says community support was immediate.
We were very happy to see that on the first day of the very first festival, it was a sold house. So it was really a joy to witness the birth of the Yucca Valley Film Festival.
In recent years, the festival has expanded its national reach. Boudoir said there is coverage in more than 400 media outlets across the United States and Canada, with additional attention in parts of Europe. The festival has also earned a spot in the top 100 best-reviewed festivals on filmfreeway.com. This year's festival is scheduled for November 6th through November 8th. Programming typically features 40 to 70 short films, each under 20 minutes. Submissions are now open, and Bois says local filmmakers are especially encouraged to participate.
There's a lot of movies, there's a lot of opportunities, and we really want to support local filmmaking and local filmmakers. And it could be any genre and any form. It could be narrative, it could be fiction, it could be documentary, it could be music video, it could be dance.
Films made in the desert or created with desert-based collaborators are also considered local. Student filmmakers are another growing focus. The festival is seeking to build stronger partnerships with local school districts, Copper Mountain College, and regional education programs throughout San Bernardino and Riverside counties. Submissions close at the end of September. For more information, visit yuccavalleyfilmfestival.com. For Z107.7 News, this is reporter Hillary Sloan.
And just in time for the nicer weekend weather, pilots will be pulling their aircraft out of hangars this weekend in Yucca Valley and in 29 Palms, as both airports are holding their monthly meetups this Sunday. At the Yucca Valley Airport, Rick Sturgill wants you to come on down and check out the planes and pilots starting at 10 a.m. There's going to be coffee, donuts, drinks, chips, and hot dogs, not to mention a handful of pilots and the planes that you may see flying in and out of Yucca Valley's L-22 airport. That's located right off Aviation Drive and Old Woman Springs Road. Head out onto Runway 6. You can't miss them. And cast your eyes east during the same time for a similar meetup at the 29 Palms Airport. Along with planes and pilots, show cars and car clubs are welcome as well. If you're a square-body Chevy fan like me, there's usually a couple sleepers parked down there. Last month, along with vintage planes, there was also an ultralight that flew in off the Mesa. This meetup is happening at the same time out at 78569 29 Palms Highway. It's easy to find. Head east, and if you hit Arizona, you've gone too far. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source, and we're glad you do. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 news team, I'm Robert Hayden.